What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week and Dr. Roto. Ooh, yeah. How's everybody doing today? Man, it's a Memorial Day weekend, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm just going to keep it nice, short, sweet, simple. Get right to it. This is the Heat-tastic review of my article that hit yesterday. Figured I'd do it a little early. I know that people are going to have a little more time on their hands. Why not just do it now, right? And then talk about at the end, I'm going to actually reveal my top 3 players at each position. We're going to go defensive line, linebacker, and defensive back off of my article that just released today, Saturday. Ooh, yeah. Let's get ready to bring the pain. Woo. All right, everybody. Well, it was a nice day up here. Kind of got really crazy. I'm going to have another podcast about that. But let's get to it. All right. Well, man, Elly De La Cruz, you were there the whole game, buddy. Even Lou, our guy Lou was like, yo, he's going to score a run. So I kind of like that. So I played the hit and the run. I played, Elly gets a hit and then I saw his run. So I figured that this would just be a great parlay. And he only got a walk. He came up short the rest of the game. But meanwhile, everybody else is just getting, just walking around him, getting all these hits. Sometimes, man, things happen. So he's going to be a loss on that article. Of course, that's going to end up losing on the parlay. But Christian Walker did get his hit. And what was really crazy, which would have canceled out the parlay, it was that, Adley Rutschman didn't even start. But I had that bet in so early. He was like, what the heck? So, but then he comes in at the end of the game and gets an RBI. I mean, people, can we write this up? This is just wild stuff. And that's what we do. That's what I was just trying to do, is it that. So, I do come up short, but at the same time, we keep it at 500 off after we know going 4-0 last week. Hey, man, we're just doing things. I don't even know, like, do I count the parlay? I mean, the parlay is pretty high. This was a really nice parlay, too. It was so close. I even, like I said, I took Lou's run. I added it to this parlay. And then it allowed me to throw the same game multiplier on it because I had the Elly run and the Elly hit. And it put it up to pretty good. I threw a few bucks down. It would have almost returned $30, but things, just come up a little short. Only one hit. But again, that's why we keep just plugging away and doing what we do. Ooh, yeah. Man, that was awesome. So, again, if you haven't been over to Dr. Roto yet, they just dropped my recent IDP ranking. So, individual defensive player. For all you people, if you're in an IDP league or if you're in a dynasty league that has a ton of, some have a few IDP slots, some just do a full roster. Totally about all of that. That's the best part, right? But right now, when you go with the IDP, everybody's got their list out, everybody's talking their things, and I'm like, here's mine. So the list is out now. Now you're going to be looking forward to my tiers list coming out. So each one of those articles will be separate for that. And then I'll have the podcast for each of those. It'll be short and sweet. Just talk about each tier: defensive line, linebacker, and defensive back. Of course, we just kind of just throw defensive line, edge rusher, and defensive tackle together. So that's the way. I mean, overall in fantasy football, that's the only thing that makes sense anyway. You need sacks. DTs don't get a lot of tackles and DTs don't get a lot of sacks sometimes. So that being said, you kind of want to make sure that you got to get that. So let's get to it. Oh, yeah. Let's get to those IDP heats of the week of the year. Yeah. So who's doing it? Defensive line. Number 1. Now, mind you, I used my model. I used my one league's scoring points. Then I used a dynasty league scoring points. And the guy that continuously came up at the top was TJ Watt for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 1 defensive lineman. You need him. You got him. He causes havoc. There's just nothing stopping him half the time. It doesn't matter. And if he is stopped, he'll jump up, he'll tip balls. It doesn't matter. He does it all. If your league credits any and all of these stats, you need TJ Watt, period. Mix him with a linebacker, your end game right there. And that's what a lot of people end up doing because, man, that's just one guy you really need. And that's all there is to it. Number 2, Max Crosby, purely just causes havoc the whole game. Now, what's really helped Max Crosby was in the league that credits pressures is that he had a ton of pressures. And at the same time, he did a point. In my one league that I was talking about, my dynasty league, Max Crosby actually tied TJ Watt for points. 188 each of them had. That's insane. But hey, things happen. Number 3 is going to be Daniel Hunter. Now, I know that, a lot of people say that he had a lot of sacks at the beginning of the season. That is true. But at the same time, I continuously write him up for one reason, because he gets the job done. He's consistent at it, and he had sacks. He's in the tackle game too. He's just an all-around great player, not the TJ Watt caliber kind, but you know what? Good enough to get the job done. Let's move over to linebackers, man. You know who it is. It's boy said, Aluaku. Yeah, right? I ain't got nothing to say about this guy. Dude gets it done. When I did my linebackers versus tight end podcast, I proved that Oluokun had more points than Travis Kelce last year in the same league. How is that even possible? And you're saying you would never draft your linebacker over Travis Kelce. But if you don't get Travis Kelce, guess what? You definitely is doing good. I mean, because Laporta was up there, and Hawkinson would have been up there. But outside of that, you might as well just go linebacker. Hey, IDP hero. It's what I do. Yeah. So, and then of course, Zaire Franklin and Roquan Smith. All 3 of these linebackers I have featured over the past few years. I've been a menace at getting them in all my IDP leagues. And even when people are thinking, I had a dude try to go pick up Zaire Franklin, then noticed he was on an off week and he could only hold one linebacker, and then he threw him back out. And I ended up getting him back anyway, when he was injured and blah, blah, blah. It just was one of those things, right? At the same time, I also found EJ Pop Speed. What about that, right? Dude is good, but he didn't make my list. And why didn't he? Because that's why you need to go to drroto.com and make sure you check out my IDP rankings. So those are my top 3 linebackers. Those are the 3 you want to target immediately. But you're going to need my tiers list. You're going to have to understand that when you don't get these 3 and you move down through the tiers, you're going to be able to get a lot of other linebackers in any kind of league, and that's going to help you win your championships. Yeah. Woo. You feeling it today, aren't you? Right. Let's move over to defensive back. Antoine Winfield, man, I ain't even messing with that dude, right? He's just, ain't nobody even looking at him, and bang, he just gets it done every week. Jesse Bates the third. I've been on this dude since he was a rookie. And Kyle Hamilton, man, those 3 dudes right there are the top defensive back you definitely need. If you can get any of a combination of 2, if you can only start 2 or 3, you can grab 3 of these players. I don't see any, bar some kind of injury, I don't see any reason why you won't be the top in your league in defensive points, and also a chance to definitely win your championship. Like I said, IDP does matter. On a lot of my championship runs, my IDP players outscored the other IDP players by almost 20 points. And that is a big, big difference, because when I went into that game, when they canceled the Buffalo Bill and the Cincinnati Bengal game, right, because of DeMar Hamlin, I had Josh Allen. I already won the game going into it. So there was no debate. Dude was done. He had nobody left. I had already won. Josh Allen went. And my backup quarterback had went the day prior. It was Tua, and he balled out. Also had Deshaun Watson. He balled out too. So it didn't even matter that I took a 0 from Josh Allen. I still won my championship. Yeah. All right, everybody, get over to Dr. Roto. Check out all the stuff, all the rankings we got going on, and make sure you check out and get ready for all of my IDP articles. And get to the subs only Discord. I have a whole defensive channel. If you want to talk IDP all day, I'll talk IDP all day. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Be safe. And may the tackles and bets be with you.